It's DM Bocephus back with another video from the Alangara Rising Persistent World Neverwinter Nights Enhanced Edition game. So if you want to play with us, you'll need a copy of the Neverwinter Nights Enhancement Edition, any CEP files, and our override files. I think there's links to everything you need at www.alangara.dk. Sign up for our forums and you'll find all the information there about the server, the IP, how to connect to us, and how to set up your game. This is a short video on farming. Farming is a very useful part of Alangara because it lets you get in-game currency that you can trade either for forged tokens, magical items, upgraded healing potions, or even experience and gold. So when you get to level 10, you can make a farm. And this video is just to go over the rules. Once you get into our farmlands, you'll see this notification that has the biggest rule of farms on here. No single individual may own nor purchase more than one farm on these lands. So it can result in a permanent divine death sentence, meaning permaban if you have a bunch of farms going. In addition to that rule, there's some minor rules on what plants you can have and how many of them, so we'll talk about that as we get going. Alright, the first rule is you have to be level 10, and you have to find a plot of available farmland to purchase. And this is part of the reason why you can only have one farm, because you know, when a player leaves the server and they don't want to play here anymore, we still have their farm to contend with, and so we have to go through and clean out the database and various things that they've left behind. So better if they only have one farm than 42 farms. It creates a lot less work. This one's for sale. Let's purchase it. And you'll see it, even though the sign said 0 gold, it did take 10,000 gold pieces from me. So this is now my farm. Before we can plant anything, we need all the tools to be able to plant something. So we're going to look for the first quest giver. His name is Brewbaker, and he's usually walking around. There he is. He's got all these animals around him today. Sure is Mr. The Blessings of Shanto. Tell him that you're interested in learning about it, and he'll give you a handful of seeds. Alright, and you get 500 experience points just for accepting that quest. After you talk to Brewbaker, you will need some items from this vendor, who will sell you a shovel and a water bucket. And the water bucket can be filled at the well. Probably going to get encumbered. My character isn't a strength build, so I've got to be careful of how much weight I'm carrying around. Alright, so I think this is the farm we purchased. And now just to plant a seed, you just right click on the seed. And we'll plant a corn plant. And some blueberry seeds. And an apple tree. And we'll talk a little bit about those plants while we wait for them to spawn in. Okay, so corn and blueberries, you're only going to need 100 of to take to the druids. Once you get 100, you really won't need or want those plants anymore. So you can use the shovel to dig them out, and we'll do that after they spawn in. You can see what they look like. Apples, you're going to need a lot of. So basically, these plants are containers, just like a treasure chest would be. And every so often, a timer will go off, and you'll get crops in those containers. There's our corn stalk that appeared. We'll end up with a, I don't think there would be anything in it yet, but we can look. Nope. We should also end up with a blueberry bush and an apple tree here in a moment. So those are the basic plants. The only thing, helpful hint I'd give you is that if you want to take out any of these plants with the shovel, you can do so. Just make sure you've saved some seeds on you. You never know, maybe he'll add a quest later on that you need 10,000 apples, or you need additional blueberries to complete. And if you don't have the seeds, you're going to be trying to get them from other players. Something else I want to tell you about the farm while these plants come up is that if you make alternate characters, they cannot have a farm, but they can use the same farm. The plants will be there for them, and they can harvest them just like the character who created it would. So the farms are account specific, not character specific. So basically it's one farm per account. And so while those spawn up, I'll go show you my farm and some of the difference in plants. So I told you there were some plants that gave you special rewards or special abilities. And those you can only have 5 each of. So there's these ones that look like the blueberry bush. They're called shade fern. You can have 5 shade fern plants, and that you get the seeds for shade fern as a quest reward in Azeless Plateau. And if you see, I'm just clicking on them, they're opening up, and I'm reaping all the benefits. I don't want that blueberry. I know I have a shade fern around here somewhere. I tend to plant things haphazardly that I don't think I'm going to need anymore. Oh, so, shade ferns. If you've watched the Forge video, you'll know that you can buy a Forge token with 15,000 gold pieces and 10 Terrarian cherries. That's this pink tree. They will give you cherry seeds. And the way you get cherry tree seeds is from the Druid Grove in Gloomy Forest. You may have to look for it. It's hidden a little bit. There is a Druid Grove there, and they will have a couple different quests for you. Some of them being farming quests, and some of them being adventuring quests. I believe they do have one enemy they want you to kill and bring back his head. Once you do that, I think all the farming quests open up. But for the farming quests, you need 10 cherries, 100 apples, 100 corn, and 100 blueberries. These other plants, these little mushrooms, are called royal fungi. They're turned into the royal provisionaire in Castle Balder, and you get 45 experience points per royal fungi and 500 gold. So even if you're not the type that's able to go out and adventure all the time due to real life constraints, you can still make a little bit of gold from farming royal fungi. So let's go back to the farm we just created here. We see all our plants are in order, and we can farm them. Alright, so whoops, I went ahead and created 2 farms, and I don't want the permanent death sentence from Terrason, but I still have my shovel. And what we can do is just use the special power of the shovel on the tree. It should fade away into the background. It's gone. We're going to pull up this blueberry bush. Okay, so the special plants were the Terrarian cherry trees, the shade fern plant, and the royal fungi, meaning you can only have 5 of those. Even if you have an alt that does the quest and they get rewarded the seeds, do not come back to your farm and plant the seeds. If you have 10 cherry trees or 100 royal fungi plants, we probably will go in as a DM and start ripping up the plants until you have the legal level. So save us the time and try to do things on the up and up. All right, so now I have no plants. I can put my farm back up for sale. Sell this farmland. Um, Current sell price, add 100. Oh, I wonder if I get the gold when this finally sells. I'm just, you probably can't see the dialogue menu too well. I'm trying to get it up to $10,000 so that if, or 10,000 gold pieces, so if someone buys it, maybe my gold will be refunded. I don't know. I don't think the script is that smart, but maybe it is. Almost there. We can only add 100 gold at a time. All right, there we are at 10,000, and I've proceeded. So I've put the farm up for sale. And now I will not get that permanent divine death sentence, at least not for farming. Um, I hope this helped you. Farming can be a bit confusing for new players. It's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. One thing we get asked a lot is, how to plant trees in a specific row, like we have them. You can figure all that out um, on your own. If you plant something in an area that's hard to reach or you can't quite click on it the right way, you can dig it up and we'll refund the seed for you. Don't ask us to refund the apple seeds and the corn seeds and the blueberry seeds. You'll get those just by farming on their own. But if it's one of the rare plants like the Terrarian cherry tree or the royal fungi or the shade fern, yeah, then we'll refund that seed for you. You can pull up the plant and put it where you want it. Um, Other than that, there's really not much to farming. It's something that gives you something to do if there's not a lot of other players on to role play with or adventure with, and it's something that's very helpful to the in-game currency. And in the future, it's very possible that we could add additional farming quest or farming type quest, especially if it's something that players seem to like or want to do. Anyway, that sums it up. Thanks for watching. We have a Facebook group, we have a website that I've already given out, and we have a YouTube channel. If you like the video, subscribe, and that way you'll be notified if any new videos come out. Thanks.